Vamos a ver cinemática. Soy un profeta. ¿Ves? El truco es reiniciar Split hasta que deje de joder. Ahora está funcionando bien.
This must be it. The entrance to the Forbidden Zone.
But it's just a
Zone.
wall. How do we get through?
Whoa, I thought this was
Derrumbando el muro.
Alvin.
Derrumba el muro. Meter un placa ahí. El verdadero soberano. Soberculo. Sobarculo.
Yes! It opened!
Interesting. If Alphen's presence still opens the way, it would seem the sovereign of 3 centuries ago and now are considered one and the same.
Energía astral.
What?
What the?
Alvin.
You again.
Tomorrow's the spirit channeling ceremony. We'll finally play our
Guau, cómo van a
parts
follar.
as the sovereign and maiden.
Tiene
How
una
have you been
voz
feeling?
distinta a la de Sion.
What am I sovereign of? Shuffled from lab to lab, always treated like an experiment. Whenever they look at me, all they see is a Danon. I don't even know what their precious ceremony's for, let alone what they're going to force me to do as the sovereign. Tell me, if we're both in the same boat, why do you seem so calm right now?
No choice. Becoming the maiden's not something I wanted for myself. But they said Rena's prosperity depended on it. How could I say no after that?
Still, as a Renan, at least you got to decide. Good for you. Meanwhile, I was taken from my homeland. You aren't the captive one here.
It isn't right what they did to you, and I'm sorry for what it's worth.
Porque suena como si se hubiera
When this
grabado
is
con
over,
WhatsApp.
I swear I'll help you get home. I can't do this alone. One more day.
How could I say no to that? It's not like I had
La
any
voz de la
choice
tía
in the
suena
matter
como si
anyway.
hubiera mandado ahí notas de audio por WhatsApp.
So, what's your name?
It's Naori. Naori Imaris. Try to remember this time.
You don't act like them. Like the other Renans, I mean. How come you treat me like a person?
Because you are. It's true we come from different worlds. But neither one of us asked to be here right now.
¿Ves? Esa sí que era
In that
buena, no
sense,
como
you
Sion,
and I are
que da
much the
puto
same.
asco.
We couldn't do this. We wouldn't be able to talk to each other as people if we didn't see the humanity in each other. So I suppose the question you should be asking is, why wouldn't I treat you like one?
You're not like the others.
Maybe they're not like me.
Here's what we'll do. We give them their damn ceremony. You get me to Dana. That'll be the end of it. I'm taking you at your word
Chana.
on this. I'm trusting you, not them. Naori.
Una mujer que sí entrega el culo por la justicia. Aguanta. Sé fuerte. No cagues.
What the hell just happened?
That vision. Did everyone else see it too?
That person Alvin was speaking to, she looked exactly like Shion.
It was Naori. Naori Imaris. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right.
She really does look like Shion. I'm beginning to see why Alphen was so confused.
That's all very well and fine, but what did we just witness exactly? It was too real to be a mere hallucination.
It was a conversation we had 300 years ago.
Me tienes que avisar
Right
si
before
vas
the
bien o
ceremony.
todo o no, hijo de
You mean
puta.
all of that really happened? We just saw an episode straight out of your past?
But how is that even possible? Unless... Could this be the Red Woman's handiwork too?
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
You guys didn't feel it? The moment the entrance opened, it was like a stream of Dan and
El otro día
astral
tuve que
energy
bloquear
rushing
yo en
over us.
persona a un puto bot.
I felt
Cuando
it
no
too.
estuviste.
Not for the first time either. It was the same sensation as back inside the wedge.
That would make sense. After all, vast amounts of Dana's astral energy were being siphoned and sent up here to Lenegus.
Yo con
For
mis
all we
propios
know,
dedos,
Perhaps
increíble.
we're close to the spot where all that energy was stored.
So you think it might have been the energy itself that was responsible for that vision we just saw? But how? And why?
We have no way of knowing. Maybe it's not even as deliberate as all that.
Shion, you okay?
Yeah, it was all just a little sudden. That's all. So that was my ancestor, huh? It was like looking into a mirror.
Yeah, there certainly is a resemblance.
Como dos gotas de
What about
chile.
you? How are you holding up?
Me?
Even putting aside the question of where that vision came from, it's likely we'll see more of those. Reliving painful episodes from your past.
Venga, dale.
Do you think you
A
can handle it?
revivirlo.
I can't just pretend like the past never happened. Besides, if it helps us uncover the truth of what that ceremony really was, it might also lead to answers
Ves,
about your
necesita la
feelings.
vacuna. El COVID te está
Okay.
jodiendo, Gerbo.
That's not all. This whole time, we've been fighting to free Dana from the Renans. But now that we're here, it seems those same Renans might
Un
have
poco
it just
mejor
as
sí que
bad.
están, ¿eh?
I'd like to liberate them too if I can. Which is just another reason I can't afford to shield my eyes from the truth.
Necesitas la vacuna, yo te lo
Whether
he
you're
dicho.
on Dana or somewhere else, you always stay the same. Your indignation and righteous passion, your desire to free and protect, they're all hardwired into you.
Pues
Not that I'm
apúntate al
confirming.
gym.
Come on, let's bust this thing wide open.
Vamos a ver qué hay aquí.
Nobody's here.
Stay sharp. After that last illusion, there's no telling what could happen in here.
Buah, se viene jefe. Su putísima madre, se viene jefe, tío. Veamos quién es el jefe. Esto parece la puta estrella de la muerte. Temazo. Ya verás. La asquerosa.
Faria, how did you get in here?
Wait, something about her isn't right.
What's wrong with her? She doesn't even seem to know
Manipulada,
where she
controlada
is.
mentalmente.
Yeah, you're right. She
Parece
looks just like
Berseria
the
esto
soldiers we
ya,
encountered outside.
Con lo de controlar la mente de los demás. Buah. Dullahan, chaval. No tiene cara, no jodas. Es puto Dullahan.
A summoning?
But that's preposterous. She never had that kind of power
We
when...
can talk later. Here it comes.
Nivel 45, fustigador.
What?
En la cabeza.
I've never known Faria to control Dougals like that before.
How about with a stone that looks suspiciously like a master core?
Where did she get her...
Vaya, ¿no os habéis dado cuenta que es un puto núcleo supremo? Subnormales.
Where are you going? Not on my watch.
Madre mía, bro. Uf, está aguantando mucho, ¿eh? Este hijo de puta tiene vida. Joder, esa cometida es letal. ¡Wow! Tiene un huevo de vida. O sea, tiene 140 y pico mil de vida. Ahora me doy cuenta que esa es la vida que tienen los enemigos y le tengo que quitar todo eso. Madre mía. Y a ver la segunda fase lo que tiene. Su putísima madre. Vale, un cuarto de vida quitado. Vamos para allá. Venga, expuesto. Wow. Estoy cagando, bro. Estoy cagando. ¡Gerbo, ayuda! ¡Estoy cagando! Hay que reventarle el núcleo. A ver, mitad de la vida, vamos. No me acuerdo si tenía algún arte. No, eléctrica no tengo. Quitando el golpe de rayo. Qué cabrón, Gerbo. Qué puto Judas de mierda que eres. Vaya putísimo Judas, Gerbo. ¡Estoy solo! Uf, vaya pedazo de hiperrayo, bro. Cuando pueda me voy a meter el chute de experiencia y aquí voy a conseguir experiencia como un hijo de puta. Buah. A ver, Kisara. ¡No! ¡Kisara! Ah, Pelé. Nada, se quedó en el aire. Solo esquivar la mayoría de sus golpes. Buah, espero que no me haga arte mística.
Me angry. That was a bad idea.
Ah, no, alguna mierda, tío. ¡No! Menos mal, hijo de puta. Creía que me habías abandonado, cabrón. No me abandones, Kerbo. Estamos juntos en esto. No hago una mierda de daño al cabrón este. A ver, sigo. Ah, vale. Estabas cagando todavía. Qué gozada, estar en un directo mientras cagas. Dale, dale. Ahora, terminamos con esto. A ver, vete a tu puta casa, es un normal. Tan gozada como que no tengo que reiniciar el puto Souler.
She's preparing another summoning. The art she's casting is way too powerful to control. At this rate, her body won't be able to take much more.
Mátala. A ver, va por culo, es un normal. Puñetazo ahí, Ale. Placa en el estómago. Hijo de puta, has matado a mi hijo, estaba embarazada. No te lo voy a perdonar jamás. Y el Dojalín, mierda, volví a cagar.
Man, I thought we were goners.
Everything okay?
Yes. She's only unconscious.
Not her. I meant you.
Alfen es al
Shield,
revés, gilipollas.
please. Can you treat her?
I can try, but I can't promise she'll be back to her real self when she wakes up. All I can do is heal her physically.
We're not even supposed to be in here. Maybe it'd be better if we moved her to somewhere a little safer. Don't you think?
In that case,
I'll take her off your hands.
You?
Avakir, what are you doing here?
I was curious what you were up to, so I took the liberty of following you
El
to
puto
find
amo.
out. I overheard what you said about Tarnigan, about how he really died. I'm sorry, I had no idea.
And you believed me? What makes you so sure I wasn't lying?
I like to think I know you a little better than that, Dohalim. Give me some credit. I'll take Faria. Leave her with me. I know better than to ask what you're up to. But whatever it is,
El mejor amigo de la
I hope it all works
historia.
out.
Thank you.
Qué puto bro. ¿Has visto? Esto es lo que hacen los tíos. Una tía estaría ahí, pues poniéndose en medio y siendo una molesta, diciéndote no lo hagas, no te lo voy a permitir, no sé qué.
He seems like a good friend.
He hasn't changed. He never was one to stand out.
Como yo.
Instead, he was always hanging back.
El puto bro de
worrying
los
about
bros.
everyone else. As for Faria, it's always the closest to me who get hurt.
You don't seriously blame yourself for what happened to her, do you?
Somebody got to her, to strike back at me. Someone who knew me well enough to know that I'd hesitate to fight back. And the same goes for you as well. Neither you nor Faria would have lost loved ones if it wasn't for me.
You're wrong. Kelzelik was the one who killed my brother, under orders from Almadria. As for Tarnigan, if it weren't for the crown contest, he'd still be alive. That and the whole damn hierarchy that makes
Así
it
que
possible.
terminemos el trabajo.
But that's why we're fighting. To put an end to this whole messed up system that treats people
Sobre
as
todo a los
expendable.
hombres.
Indeed. Ridding society of this blight is really the only way I know how to atone for my sins.
You can't atone, Dohalim.
Es un soberano de puta madre, Dojalin.
I know it hurts to hear, but those people are dead. No amount of soul-searching or trying to make amends is going to change that. Forgiveness, acceptance, those ships have sailed.
So I just forget the harm I caused?
No, the opposite, in fact. You remember. You never forget. You keep it in your heart always. And then you go on living.
Muy buen consejo.
Not for those already passed, but for those still alive.
For those still alive.
Kisara's right. So long as we've still got breath in our bodies, we can make a difference in the
Todos
lives
están
of
cargando
others.
con cosas malas que han hecho en el
Loss being
pasado,
the operative
todos.
word.
That's what living's all about. Being able to still make a difference. Punishing yourself for the past, won't make the pain of your conscience go away.
Es muy buen consejo
Only
este, ¿eh?
fixing the problem in its stead. Is that what you're saying?
That's right. You have to live for tomorrow, Dohalim, not for yesterday. And not only that. You
Es un
need to
consejo
live for
súper importante
yourself
en la vida,
and
poca
for the
broma.
change that you still can
Flipo
be.
con los mensajes que manda este juego de vez en cuando.
I shall try.
Don't forget, we've still got a mystery to solve. The Forbidden Zone, remember?
Shion,
Huh?
thank you. You have my deepest gratitude for what you did for Faria.
Glad to be of service.
I'm glad we could stop Faria without hurting her.
You all did much for her as well. I'm most grateful.
Oh, shucks. We're on the same team, right? Let's move on.
Flipo con lo puto largo que es este juego, ¿eh? O sea, lo estoy disfrutando y todo eso, pero... Uf. Es muy largo. Berseria no me pareció tan largo, no sé. Vamos con ese. Vamos a ver qué tenemos por aquí. Ataque elemental más 40, ataque más 20, resistencia más 10. Vamos con ese. Ataque elemental, eso es puta mierda. Defensa más 50. Defensa elemental. Daño contra ataque plus. Defensa elemental más 30. Sobre límite más fácil. Ataque más 30. Este me mola. Voy a ir con el sobre límite más fácil todavía. Si no fuera ya lo suficientemente fácil. A ver, quítale una hora por los problemas técnicos. Llevaré 43-44 y aún no lo he terminado. Y hay otra gente que... Hay gente que dice que se va a terminar en 30 horas este juego. Yo flipo, pero muchísimo flipo.
Do you think Far...
Certainly seem that way.
The same person who's behind.
Brainwashed or otherwise, the feel...
Someone used her because they knew we'd hold back.
It does tell us one thing at least.
There's no question.
By someone capable of getting inside a person.
Debe ser muy puto hacer eso. Vale, voy a volver a guardar ahora. Que he hecho varias cosillas. Está guapa esta canción.
What is it, Rinwell? Do you hear something again?
Yeah,
Energía astral, entonces.
it's that voice.
The will of Dana's astral energy.
El planeta le está hablando, rollo los Final 7. Por eso ha conquistado el corazón de mucha gente este juego. Muy Final 7. Mira, mira el ánimo. Esto fue lo que pasó en la ceremonia. No jodas, tío.
What? There's so much astral energy. But where's it all coming from? It's almost like it's alive.
Las espinas. ¿Qué milas había ahí? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué inició la maldición de las espinas? Se vuelve loco, chaval. ¿Qué pasó, güey? ¿Qué pasó?
That was the spirit channeling ceremony just now. No, it was more than that.
What the hell was that? It felt like everything was on the brink of... like the whole world was seconds from...
Oblivion. It's the same vision as the one my thorns show me. A vision of impenetrable darkness that swallows up us and everything else.
An empty void. A nothing so complete and dominating that there aren't even words to describe
El
it.
vaciado, el hueco.
The end of time.
The visions of the apocalypse you've been seeing. If I'd known how bad they were,
So, everything we just saw, those were Naori's memories, right?
That's right. It was as if her innermost thoughts were speaking directly to us. At least I know they weren't mine.
That power flowing into her. It reminds me of Shion's thorns. If they're what's responsible for all these visions she's been having, then maybe...
Maybe my thorns are made from that same astral energy?
If that is the case, we just found the missing link between your thorns and what happened here.
Sí, pero ¿qué son las
centuries ago.
espinas? Sí, aún hay muchas preguntas.
More than a link. Perhaps even the very heart of the matter.
I've never felt astral energy so powerful. What was that?
If it's the same energy your thorns are made of, it must be dark astral energy, right? And isn't that something only Renans have?
Correct. Dark astral energy is possessed by Renans alone.
And when enough astral energy gathers together, it develops its own form of sentience. If so, maybe that complete oblivion is exactly what the Renan astral energy's will is.
Una lucha entre las energías astrales de Rena y Dana.
I don't know. Will can be a pretty vague thing to nail down. It's more of a feeling, just like the will of Dana.
But the will of Dana is made up of astral energy too, right? And if that's what's been showing us these visions... I don't know, should we really be getting so involved with this thing?
Dana's will would never want oblivion.
But you can't say that for sure!
Cut it out, you two. Squabbling over theories will get us nowhere.
Let's keep moving. If it's Dana's will showing us these memories, then I'm as clueless about its motives as any one of us. But if it could lead us to the truth...
Los planetas
then I
tienen
want to
voluntad
find out more.
propia y uno está en contra de otro. Rena quiere destruir a Dana, ¿pero por qué?
Shion's right. All we can do is keep going. If these really are Naori's memories we're watching, there could be truths in them I was never aware of. And I think they may be the kinds of truths I need to confront if we're going to keep fighting.
I'm sorry about what I said earlier. Come on, let's go.
Finally, we begin to understand what the thorns are.
Yes, and their source. A ceremony that occurred 3 centuries
Ya empezamos
ago.
con las
We
escenas.
still don't know how to get rid of them. I just hope we can find a way.
Destruir Rena, total. Nadie vive en Rena. Todo el mundo vive en Lenegis.
That vision we saw.
What do you make of it? Do you still think the will...
Maybe it's trying to...
Well, it could be supernatural.
That's your grand theory?
Wait. What if a person's thoughts and deeds were just... And what if those with a connection could then...
You think that's what it was? Some kind of...
I am merely entertaining the possibility. Whether it...
Okay, back up a sec. You're saying that if a place...
More to the point, how does that much astral energy gather?
Whatever it was, it survived here intact for 300...
The strength of their intent. Soon, we might very well learn the truth behind Shion's thorn. Have to be ready to face anything. Whatever happens,
Vamos por allá.
I'm determined to save Shion and Dana.
Sí, total. No lo sé. Aún hay muchas incógnitas que resolver. No es la primera vez en el juego que pasa esto.
Hold up, you guys.
What is it?
I want to look through that room over there. I'm curious what we'll find.
That's the room you visited in your past, right? Sure. We can check it out. This looks like some kind of research facility.
A laboratory secreted away in the Forbidden Zone. Why am I past being surprised at this point?
Looks pretty deserted.
Let's check it out. It might give us a new lead.
For the people of Lenegus, the Forbidden Zone is...
It's off limits even for
Being exclusive is one thing, but how...
Strange doesn't cover it. If it was whoever the Sovereign is.
Did no one ever talk about it when you...
No, not that I can remember. Then again,
The Forbidden Zone is a hallowed place, at one with the Sovereign's authority. That is what we believed this place to be. No, what we were made to believe it was. But now, it is finally time to discover...
A ver la gran verdad.
I think I can make this work.
Y tanto, puede hacer todo.
Well, can you make head or tail of it?
These are experiment records, by the looks of it. Reams of them, dating back hundreds of years. Let's see. A composite being capable of controlling Danon astral energy, so as to convert its molecular and elemental makeup. The creation of a governing central figure, taking the form of a Danon. Codename Sovereign.
Sovereign.
Wait, there's more. Research into utilizing force field crystals for the purpose of stable astral energy containment. That must be the master course. With all this raw data, there's bound to be records here somewhere about the
De momento me estoy quedando
Lords,
igual.
too.
About the Lords. Why would they be on there?
Think about it. The Lord's crests are clearly of a piece with those of both the Sovereign and the Maiden. Not to mention the fact that the contenders to the crown are selected from otherwise regular Renin citizens. In other words, it may be that all Renins are unwittingly being made subject to some kind of grand scheme.
What about the Sovereign? Does it say anything else?
Where do I start? All I've read so far is the headlines. There's so much here. To sift through all of it would require specialized... Wait,
What is it? Did you find something?
it's a list of names. With the title, Test Subjects, Sovereign. It's your call.
Dale.
Read it.
No seas marico.
There must be dozens of test subjects listed here. Hundreds even. All of them failures. Wait, I think I've found one that was successful. Test subject number 1273. Ethnicity, NA.
Es el Alfen,
Unique
obviamente.
Adjustment Index, Generation, NA. Given name, Alphen.
They re-engineered me. Right here in this lab.
Final Fantasy 9.
Alphen.
It's fine, really. What about the others? Was I the only one?
Test subject number 10105. Ethnicity, NA. Unique Adjustment Index, Generation, NA. Given name, Volron.
Volron? But that means...
He's only sovereign because someone made him that way too.
He's the last one. In 3 centuries worth
Increíble,
of
los
records,
elegidos.
you and Volron are the only 2 subjects on whom the experiment was a success.
But what about the winners of the crown contests? Does this mean that none of them were ever crowned sovereign after all?
Upon victory, the sovereign shall return to Rena and rule over Rena and Lenegis combined. When a new sovereign is decided, the outgoing monarch shall relinquish their post and live out the rest of their days on Rena. So we were told. But according to these records, there have only ever been 2 sovereigns, neither of whom had anything to do with the crown contest.
Esto es una trampa el concurso.
It's all lies, including the part about the sovereign residing in Rena. The crown contest was never about deciding a new ruler. It must
Estaba
always have been
clarísimo.
devised
Ya lo
for
dije
some
yo al
other
principio del
purpose.
juego. Eso era una tontería.
But even supposing that's true, someone must have been in charge for the past 3 centuries, right? If it wasn't the sovereign, then who was it?
Crown contests have been held this whole time, in spite of the fact that there was already a sovereign. Me.
Cagaron.
Meaning that for the past 300 years, someone out there has to have been maintaining that lie.
Qué hijo de puta.
The same person I'm willing to bet
¡Detrás de
is
ti,
behind
hijo de
all this.
puta!
The Red Woman? It's possible. But that doesn't necessarily mean she's the mastermind.
Seguramente
behind
será
this
una
scheme.
IA, la mujer esa de rojo. Rollo lo Nier Automata.
She could be working for someone else. Someone back on the Renan homeworld.
Either way, it's fair to say she's definitely involved somehow.
Que alguien vigile las espaldas,
What
por
about the
favor.
data
Que tengo
records?
miedo.
Is there no other information that
Ay.
can help us?
Not that I can see. Just file upon file of experiment results. There's nothing here about who's behind all this, or what their end
Era
game
obvio.
is, unfortunately.
Es un plan perfecto.
I've barely managed to scratch the surface, mind you. You won't be able to read through it all, but you're welcome to take a look through what you can, while we're here.
I'll do that.
Solo él y Volran.
So this is where Alphen became the sovereign, and Volron as well. The significance of this location would suggest...
Hey, it looks like the terminals in here turned on too.
We should look through them. They might contain valuable information.
A ver qué es esto.
Only 2 sovereigns. So why has the experiment only succeeded? Was there really no other way?
Dohalim.
Forgive me.
Alphen.
I'm fine. But it's strange. I've got all this rage inside of me, but I don't...
If that were to happen, then No. Then we'd help you.
Yeah, We wouldn't just sit by and watch you spiral out of control.
That's right. No good can come from being consumed by hatred.
If you ever start to lose your way, you can count on us to guide you back. To remind you where home is.
And I would be happy to lend an attentive ear, should you ever have need.
Los bros, chaval.
Thank you, everyone.
Los putos bros. Deben poseer la misma afinidad por cada elemento astral. Ah, por eso mueren todos. Porque no coincide la misma afinidad en el elemento astral. Falta compatibilidad entre los dos sujetos. Siempre debe ser un daniano y un renano. Ay, claro, y como le falta energía astral oscura, por eso debe ser un daniano y un renano. Un hombre y una mujer, ¿eh? Mucha información. Bueno, esto me recuerda a los tiempos de Nier Automata. Muchísimo. Cuando estaba ahí explorando todos los documentos y todo eso. Lenegis. Convierte energía astral a gran escala. Aquí está toda la gran verdad. Entonces se necesita la ceremonia para trasladar la energía de Dana a Rena. En plan como que Rena está matando a Dana, absorbiendo la energía porque a lo mejor Rena está muriendo o algo. Eso creo que es la aguja, ¿no? Voy a volver a guardar. 45 horas y aquí sigo. Máscara sedante. Para calmar prisioneros. Joder, ya está volviendo a joder. la máscara. Lavado de cerebro. A ese de la gobernanza en sí. Aquí está toda la gran verga del juego, Toda. Estamos descubriendo ahí todo. Señores. Completamente. Esto es como la mili obligatoria, El Boldan tiene que seguir vivo, tío. No puede ser que nos hablen tanto de él y que esté muerto. Núcleos supremos. Y los núcleos espirituales creo que son los de las esferas. Aún sigo teniendo dudas, pero hay cosas que han quedado más claras, obviamente. Poción vital. Me parece que se viene, jefe. Otro más, Gel de uva. ¿Esto? Por si acaso voy a volver a guardar ahora que ya tengo todo. O eso espero tener todo. Espero no haberme dejado nada en la otra sala. Ahora hay un objeto buenísimo, súper importante y me lo he dejado. Voy a explorar mejor. Que no esperaba que hubiera por aquí objetos. No, no hay nada por aquí. A no ser que al final haya que leer algo, nah, no hay nada. Este juego no se parece una mierda a Tales of en muchos aspectos. ¿Qué quieres que te diga? Otro recuerdo.
Naori,
Don't talk. I have to do this. I gave you my word that I'd help you return to Dana. The next time you open your eyes, you'll be home.
But you...
My place is here with my people. I still have a duty to fulfill. I'm sorry for what you've endured. Rena never should have dragged you into this. It's not your burden to bear.
But...
The mask contains a sedative. It should keep your mind from tearing itself apart any further. Let yourself go to sleep. This should help with the pain. Time to go, Elfin. Farewell.
Naori...
His injuries are worse than I thought. Short-term treatment isn't going to cut it. I'll have to switch the healing pod to long-term hibernation mode. The chance of surviving hibernation's less than 10%.
Flipas.
And worse, long-term use of the mask carries a high risk of damaging his mind and nervous system. But... If I don't head back, Lennigus will be nothing but ashes. And this starship along with it. I don't know if I can fulfill my promise to you, Alphen. But if doing this will grant you even the slightest chance, I have to try.
Qué potra. Ojalá tener esa potra.
I hope it's enough. Please, live for me, Alphen.
Ya se sacrificó ella. Y si aún quería hacer lo mismo.
That vision. It must have been from when Naori helped Alphen escape Lennigus.
She sure went above and beyond the call of duty.
Even with Lennigus crumbling down around her, she chose to stay put with her people.
So that's why you lost your memories and sense of pain, and why you were asleep for that whole time. It was all the result of one agonizing decision Naori made to save your
Le se
life.
daba la puta máscara.
Yeah. If it weren't for her, I wouldn't even be alive today. I owe her everything. More than I could ever hope to repay.
Now that you know how she felt, how do you plan on honoring her wishes?
She kept her promise. If the Renan people she fought so desperately to protect are at risk from a malevolent force, then I owe it to her to carry on her
Qué
fight.
puto amo. Aunque a la vez es un tremendo caballero blanco.
Naori was the one who put that mask on me. Made me iron.
Máscara de hierro, increíble.
She did it to prevent your soul from tearing itself apart. She knew you might lose your memories and sense of pain as a result. But more than anything, she wanted you to survive. And you did.
Saber el porqué de todo. Qué satisfacción obtiene uno, ¿eh? Buah, chaval. La que se viene, bro. Uf. Va a haber ahí un jefazo que flipas. Cura intensita. Vamos a ver si ahí hay algo más. No, no han puesto nada. Aquí tiene que haber un jefe que flipas, bro.
This place. We've seen this in one of Naori's memories.
Of course. After 300 years, this is where it was held. The spirit channeling ceremony. This is where the Renis Alma was.
So this is the place where you and Naori...
The Renis Alma isn't here now. Nor is the Red Woman, it seems.
I know it's difficult, Alphen, but there will be time to dwell on the past later. For now, we need to keep moving. Come on.
Naori.
What is this? Is it the work of Dana's will again?
It's been a year since the ceremony. That day, I shut away inside of myself the power that caused Alphen to lose control. Since then, my visions of the future have grown more and more fearsome.
Me recuerda a Sonic Adventure. Tikal.
Is this another memory? No, it's different this time. It's like she's speaking directly to us.
What we did back then. Not so much as a day passes when I don't think about it. About what was done to us. All in the name of a ceremony. The purpose of which we were never even told. As Sovereign, they linked Alphen's consciousness to Lenegis itself. The Renis Alma was intended to control his power, lest anything should slip through its cracks. That day, as Maiden, my role was to temper his power. I was meant to guide it forth, and give shape to the strength inside of him.
Linked to Lenegis itself? But then, everything that's been happening...
But that power showed me a vision. A vision of oblivion. When I realized that vision was a prophecy of the apocalypse we were about to unleash, I couldn't go
Buenas
through with
tetas,
it.
me gustan.
But without a maiden, the ceremony was doomed. Alphen lashed out, his consciousness no longer his own. I did what I could. Using my abilities as the maiden, I tried to seal that power away inside of me. But it was too late. Lenegis had already been brought to its knees. Thousands upon thousands of lives so cruelly snuffed out. All because of me. Because of what I had done. With the destructive force now slumbering inside of me, I knew I had to find a way to dispose of it. Anything to make up for my failure. But I didn't know how.
Se sentía mal por haberla cagado. Es un tema también principal de este juego. Muchos personajes lo tienen.
Especially since that power was astral energy itself. In which case, ironically enough, the Renis Alma seemed to be my best bet. That, at least, would hold the astral energy dormant. Assuming that no malevolent third party got to it first. With the Sovereign and Maiden's combined power, perhaps I could shift the chaotic energy inside me into the Renis Alma instead. That's what I hoped, but alas, it was not to be. the Renis Alma was lost. And Alphen, the Sovereign, was in a starship bound for Dana.
Qué buenas tetis.
My only choice was to seal away the destructive force inside of me using my powers as the Maiden. To buy the world what little time I could. The time needed for a new Renis Alma to be crafted. And for a new Sovereign to appear.
Boldan.
Even if by doing so, it meant I would be passing the curse on to my descendants
Vale.
as well.
Ahora todo cobra sentido.
Please, forgive me. I never meant to burden the future.
Se le fue de la mano el experimento.
I only wish that there was something more I could have done.
Una energía extra oscura de la hostia. El Big Bang a la inversa de lo poderoso que es. La liaron parda, básicamente.
That message just now, was it directly from Naori? Or was it the Danon voice speaking through her?
Como mola. Los trajes.
What?
These are the clothes that Naori and I wore.
Qué
during the
guapada,
ceremony
bro.
3 centuries ago.
¿Qué te parece?
So you're saying this is the Maiden's outfit?
That's right. These clothes are designed to resonate with the Sovereign and Maiden's abilities. They focus and enhance them.
And they appeared now because...
Naori must have left them here for the new Sovereign and Maiden, knowing that
Y el soberano vuelve a ser el mismo y la doncella una de sus descendientas.
These outfits are directly linked to the answers we've been chasing this whole time. If they're here, it must mean it was Naori's will for us to find those answers as well.
Locating the Renis Alma would allow us to neutralize the dark astral energy inside Shion, thereby silencing her thorns. Is that what Naori
Era
is
cierto
suggesting?
lo que decía siendo del principio del
It
juego.
makes sense. After all, Master Cores and Spirit Vessels are both able to prevent the astral energy inside them from developing sentience. By that logic, it would stand to reason that the Renis Alma would have the same ability on a larger scale.
Qué guapo el
We
traje.
have a Maiden and Sovereign.
Los trajes.
Now all we need is the Renis Alma. And we'll finally be able to free you of your thorns. Shion.
It's possible?
Ahora sí que tiene buenas tetas,
You
¿eh?
really think so?
I do. We can rid you of your thorns and stop the world from falling to oblivion.
However, the spirit channeling ceremony already failed once. Even if our goal is different this time, we can't be sure the same thing won't happen again. We should take care not to be too optimistic.
You're right. It's the barest sliver of a chance. But if there's even the
Igual que
slightest
esto,
hope it
Naori.
can work, I'm willing to stake everything I've got on it.
I know it's too early to let myself feel relieved, but I just can't seem to help it. Just hearing there's the slightest chance, even though I know the world's still in great peril. It's selfish of me, I know, but still.
No, it isn't. You found hope to believe in. It'd be strange if you weren't over the moon about it.
Grinwell's right. We can rid you of your curse and still save the world at the same time.
Thank you. Naori entrusted us with the fate of all humanity. Now, it's up to us to prove
Aún quedan
that
dudas
trust
que
was well
resolver.
placed.
Starting with a little game called Hunt the Renis Alma.
Yeah, we've come all this way. Now we just need to search Lenegis and Rena until we find it.
Yeah, we can protect the world and save Shion at the same time.
I too shall lend my services. My knowledge of Renin lore is bound to be a useful asset.
And they say modesty is dead.
Cómo molan esos trajes, bro.
Miracles just seem to follow wherever you go, huh?
¿Follamos? Haha.
How do you know it's me they're following? We're all in this together, Shion. You included.
Porque los milagros solamente le afectan a él, la buena potra. A lo demás, todo el mundo tiene mala potra.
Thank you, Naori.
Es mi antítesis, Alphen.
So Naori sealed away the power that made me lose control of myself. She stopped my rampage and saved my life. But then, that power she'd sealed away was passed down to you. I'm so sorry, Shion. It's my fault that you're
Qué
cursed.
puto caballero blanco.
You're wrong.
Ahora nunca mejor dicho.
What happened to you was because of the ceremony, and Naori's attempt to stop Oblivion. You paid a heavy price for it, and then fell asleep for 300 years. The reason you lost your memories.
Is the reason for your
El granjero.
The thorns.
marks. It all leads back to them. But once they're gone, we can finally put an end to all this.
When my thorns are gone,
Está bien
I
rica
never
ahora.
dared to dream that such a thing could be possible. No. The truth is, I think maybe I've always been dreaming about a life without my thorns. The touch of my family, or playing with my friends, holding hands with Rinwell, or giving Law a
Un
dessert
guantazo a lo.
snack, embracing everyone. All the normal things that people do together. I always wished I could experience them for myself, and finally know what they were like. Is it really okay for me to believe it can happen? I'm so scared of getting my hopes up. What if it doesn't work out in the end, and...
That's not going
Es
to happen.
normal tener miedo.
I'm here to make sure it won't. Forget fate or destiny or anything else.
Increíble, se lo aseguro.
A normal life. There are a lot of things you still want to do, right?
El puto rey de España.
You're right. It's such a strange feeling. I know that we've still got
Todavía
plenty of
queda horas
fighting
de
up
juego,
ahead.
todavía queda.
And it's for my sake. So I can live.
You're worth fighting for.
Yo creo
I
que no,
believe you.
Yo creo que te equivocas, Alphen.
Good. I'll keep on fighting. For as long as it takes. Until our future is finally in our hands.
Fufurro. Buah, este es buenísimo. Tengo que darle a ese. Uf. La revitalización tengo que cambiar de lo que estaba haciendo para esto, porque esto es brutal. Todo esto es brutal. Sodeil Arzalis. Gamma Arzalis. Lad Fiarkis. Buah. Luce espectacular, bro. Luce jodidamente espectacular. Uf, como mola, bro. Cómo puto mola Alphen ahora, tío. Qué puta barbaridad. Y ahora ha cambiado definitivamente la pantalla. La cámara del altar.
Sounds like this Naori...
Her position demanded nothing less. From the sound of things, she didn't focus on...
Yeah. It was Naori who first showed me that such a...
Not only that, but she willingly stayed behind on Lennigan.
It's as if walls meant nothing to her. The ones separating the Renans from the Danans, or herself from others.
Which basically meant that she never had anything to break down in the...
You inherited that legacy. Her wish for the world.
Y ahora lo transmites al resto del mundo.
She's kind of like a lodestar guiding our way.
Sion luce espectacular así, tío. Sion luce flipante. Vamos a ver qué nos encontramos ahora.